everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome. My name is Arax Manucharyan, and I am the head of the Financial Education and Inclusion Division of the Central Bank of Armenia, and also a Global Money Week Working Group co-chair. It is a real pleasure to open today's webinar and to see so many colleagues and partners joining from different countries. Global Money Week has become more than a campaign. We have become a community, and it is always inspiring to see how creative and committed this community is. Today's webinar is dedicated to a topic that is becoming more and more important every year: how we can use social media to increase the reach and the real-life impact of Global Money Week. Let me start with something very simple. Social media is no longer just communication. It is where people live, learn, and decide. And in some areas, social media is simply unbeatable. First, discovery and search. For many young people today, social media has replaced traditional search engines. In 2026, we see that a large share of consumers, and especially Z generation, they don't Google information anymore. They search directly on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So if financial education is not there, it is almost invisible to them. Second, speed. Social media is the fastest channel for what people consider breaking news. And in the financial world, speed matters because we have lots of scams, fraud scams, and misinformation spread extremely quickly. And third, that is engagement. Unlike TV or newspapers, social media is a two-way conversation. People can ask questions, comment, share experiences, and even warn each other. This interaction is incredibly valuable for financial education because money is something personal and people learn best when they feel seen and understood. But at the same time, social media has also its weaknesses and we cannot ignore them. For example, the trust gap. Many users are tired of misinformation and low-quality AI-generated content. People scroll a lot, but they trust less. And verification is still a challenge. Often viral information is not original. It comes from traditional fact-checked sources and then spreads on social media. So credibility still depends on strong institutions and reliable information. So the real question is not social media or traditional media. The real question is how do we connect them in a smart way? Let me briefly share also Armenia's experience. In Armenia, we try to use social media not only to share information, but also to bring people to a trusted place where they can learn more and check facts and take actions. For us, that trusted place is our financial education website, which is abcfinance.am. So our goal is not only to get likes or views, our goal is to guide people from a short message to deeper knowledge and real tools. We are now very active on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and we also are present also on TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn. Each platform, by the way, has its own audience and its own language. During the last Global Money Week campaign, we also tried something new. We collaborated with influencers, and we hired them to create videos about financial scams and frauds. To be honest, at that time, we were amazed by the results. The reach was high, the engagement was strong, and people were sharing the content widely. But now, 1 year later, we want to share a different reflection. We learned that one-time events are not as effective and permanent as consistent programs. Yes, one good informative video can have a big impact, but often in a short term. However, when you continue, when you create a series, when you stay consistent, something changes. People start to recognize your voice. They know where to go when they need help. They know where to search you. And sometimes they even start waiting for you for your next message. So for us, the key lesson is social media success is not only about creativity, but it's also about consistency and trust building. And this is exactly why today's webinar is so timely and useful. I'm very happy that today we will learn from each other and exchange practices. With that, I would like to thank you again for joining, and I'm pleased to pass the floor to my colleague Eva Abbott, Communication Officer of the Financial and Enterprise Affairs of Capital Markets from OECD, who will share practical social media tips and tricks. And Eva, thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'll go through my slides pretty quickly, but write down your questions for the end because we'll open up for a Q&A later. So welcome to everyone. Just a reminder of the dates for this year's Global Money Week. It'll be from the 16th to the 22nd of March. And today we're just going to go through some practical tips to really help you out as much as we can. So first of all, why does social media matter? Social media, as Arak said, it really helps us to reach everyone, be it youth or parents or teachers, and then you can really connect to local activities all around the world. This means that it's a global movement, but it's really anchored in these local points. And then also for decision makers, we can really show them that financial education really matters. So every little post you make helps us to make Global Money Week more visible and bigger. So it's one campaign, but with many voices. These are all of the voices that you will bring to it in your different countries, which is why it's so exciting. So you could be public authorities, maybe your NGOs, maybe schools or international organizations. But social media, if everyone is posting on it, it really shows the diversity of the week and of the campaign. And here's a little reminder, you don't need to be perfect. What really matters is being authentic, really showing what you are doing in your community. The tone of voice, which we think works best for Global Money Week, is very friendly, very encouraging, clear messages. Remember that you're speaking to a younger audience, so make it accessible and really make it positive and empowering. We're really trying to help children and youth have a better upbringing thanks to better financial literacy. Maybe avoid technical jargon. Again, remember who you're speaking to, and avoid sales or promotional language, also because then we are less likely to repost you. So don't use the platform as an advertising platform. Little reminder, think education, not promotion. So the basics, what should you always include? So thanks to data, we can really see that on social media, a visual is super important. So always choose at least one photo. And this can be a photo you take with your phone. So it really doesn't have to be something super high quality if you don't have the means for that. Or it could be a little video or a graphic. We've seen lots of great examples over the years. And then always include the official hashtag. And the hashtag is when you put the symbol like this, and this year's are Global Money Week 2026 or GMW 2026. And then you can also add the hashtag for the theme of this year, which is Smart Money Talks. And these mean that other people can find you. If, for example, Armenia is looking for what France is doing, if they just search for the hashtag GMW 2026, they can see all of the posts that name that hashtag. You can also tag us. So tagging is when you're letting us know that you want to connect with us so that we get a notification of your message. So you can tag us at Global Money Week. We are at Global Money Week on almost every platform apart from YouTube. Who do we reshare? So here in the Global Money Week Secretary, we reshare the content before, during, and after the week. So what we really prioritize are posts from public authorities, central banks, and international organizations. We tend not to repost private banks as much. So yes, we don't reshare them because sometimes they're too promotional or they're advertising content. So it's not really a marketing platform. For us, it's really an educational platform. And a good tip is to always focus on learning activities. Again, remember the audience, we're trying to talk to youth. What should you post? Here are some ideas. you can divide it into 3 moments. Before Global Money Week, you could share a save the date. You could announce the activities that you're going to hold, preparations that are ongoing. For example, maybe kids are preparing posters. It's sort of to get the excitement going. Then during Global Money Week, you could share live videos and live photos. This could be from events, maybe a workshop, maybe even all the kids in the classroom, you know, raising their hand, having a discussion with a presenter, or in a bigger room, you know, maybe there's a whole presentation going on. You could also, if you don't have any pictures, you could take down quotes from children and put them against a nice colored background and have that during Global Money Week. It's always really vivid if you hear a child's voice, you know. And then after Global Money Week, you could post highlights. You could post a thank you video or a thank you photo or a collage of different photos. You could share the numbers of kids that joined, the numbers of schools that joined, all the places that your NGO connected with. So be as creative as you want to. Then if you're looking at different platforms, you might have some of these, not all, that's totally fine. Here's an idea of what to post on each, because each platform is a little bit specific. So we think that Facebook is best for an event. You can create an event and then send it out to your network and people can join the event. That means that they'll get a little reminder of it. So that's quite useful. You can share updates and you can share Facebook Live. That's when you open up a live and you're filming with your phone and everyone can see the live right away. So everyone can join in and watch the video as it's happening. Then Instagram, you'll probably know already, it's really good for photos. It's also really good for stories, which is what's happening, and it only stays there for 24 hours. Remember that if there's any link you want to put, you should put it in your biography, because Instagram doesn't allow links that are clickable under their posts. And remember to put local hashtags, because maybe people in your area are wondering what's happening. Then X, formerly known as Twitter. This is good for really short messages and calls to action. So if you have something for people to do, like, you know, join this event or come to this meeting or here's the address, that can be quite useful as a reminder. There's so many tweets that go out that you can post as much as you want. Tweets are not visible that long. Then LinkedIn is good for institutions and partners. It's a more professional audience, as you know. So you can post much longer articles. So keep X for your very short messages and then LinkedIn for your longer articles. And then YouTube is best for long videos. So while Instagram and Facebook are maybe better for shorter videos, on YouTube you can really put a long video, an educational video, or maybe a recap video of your whole week with your different activities. In terms of visuals, remember, simple works best. So what could be a good video? You could put a classroom photo with lots of different children to show sort of the breadth of your event, how many people you reached. You could put a flip chart where people have been drawing on it or discussing, brainstorming ideas for Global Money Week. You could put a poster that you've created, maybe because you know, with the design that you've made for your week. You could have a speaker interacting with some of the young people, and you could have even a short phone video. And you know, most of the time these days, people have smartphones. Those are really good. So, and it's fine if it's vertical. That's no problem. And remember, again, don't worry, you don't need professional equipment. What we want is really authentic material so that we see what every different country is doing. That'll make it really come alive. And what makes a good Global Money Week post? So a strong post would show people, not just materials. We really want it to be human. And you can explain what's happening and why it matters. And we think it's really nice if it feels local, but then it does connect to the global campaign. So you can mention your city or your country, but then at the end you could put the hashtag for Global Money Week so that people know what campaign you're a part of. You don't need to post every day. So if you're only one person or a very small team, don't worry. You could even do just 1 to 3 posts during the week, and that's already great. And you can post the same photo across several platforms. So if you didn't have time to take many photos, in the action, that's totally fine. If you need inspiration, we've already published online some things that can help you. We've published a Global Money Week social media toolkit. You can find this online. You can just Google those words and you'll find it, or you can use this QR code right here. So that has, it's in English only, that one. It has some examples of what you could post. It has visuals. It has, again, some more complete tips. Or you can look at the Global Money Week toolkit. This is not just about social media, it's more general. And so therefore we have it in English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. QR code is right there if you need it right now. And it has ideas on activities in general, tips about speaking to the media, for example, if you have journalists who are interested, and all sorts of advice. A little do's and don'ts. So we have just a few sensitive cases. So you should always get consent from parents, because we're dealing with children and young people. Super important that you get appropriate consent beforehand. So from parents, legal guardians, and then you need the consent of the photographer. If you hired a professional photographer to publish his work online, maybe you'll need to reference his name. You should see that directly with him. Then follow your organization's child safeguarding protection rules. And then if you send us the photos and you want us to be able to use them, it's super important that you fill out the OECD photo consent form. Don't worry, I'm going to send you this presentation at the end, and this is a hyperlink, so you'll get straight to it. It's also on our website if you want. And then that will let us use your photos in our annual report, for example, which you've probably seen, which is super fun way of getting all of your different countries involved and with beautiful pictures so that we can see what everyone did. So don't remember those credits where you need them. And maybe, so things you shouldn't do, if you didn't get that consent for a child to show his picture, you're not allowed to show a picture of his face. So a way around that is that you are allowed to show backs of heads of children. So you could take a shot from a classroom with only backs of heads. That is allowed. And don't promote financial products. Again, as I've already said, don't use this as a marketing tool or as a it's not meant to be for a bank to use it as a selling feature. So remember that us in the Secretariat will repost content that is authentic and that's about education. Then let's remember we can all amplify each other. So all of the different countries should help each other out, check out what other people are doing. Look at, you can look at our account, but also you can use the hashtags to search what other countries are doing. And then you can all really help each other out by liking each other's posts, by sharing each other's posts, and then everyone will benefit from it. You can even comment, and that really helps everyone get to, because there's an algorithm on social media. I'm sure you might know this already. And the more we post, the more we like each other's content, the more we comment, that'll really help your different posts. So always we work together on this. If you want us to see what your hashtags are because you're using a different particular hashtag, that's fine. Just let us know in the pre-form. The pre-form is the document you fill out to let us know you're holding Global Money Week. Let's see, we're getting to the end of the presentation. So if you have to remember just a few things, they're on this slide. So for the overall tone, keep it friendly, keep it simple, educational. Always use at least one picture and then use the hashtags that we spoke about. Focus on young people and on learning. And if you don't have time, just do one post and that's already great. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation. Keep your questions for the end. And here's our email address if you have pressing questions that you want to write out in email form. And I will now hand over to my colleague, Bianca. Thanks so much for listening.
I'm just going to difficulties here. Can everybody still hear us? Yes, great. So thank you very much, Eva, and hi to everyone. It's really nice to see many of you connected, and thanks, Eva, for your presentation and for sharing the insights on how Global Money Week organization can use social media to effectively engage during Global Money Week. And for all of you, now we have had the opportunity to also meet Eva, which together with our colleague Gabriel, who's also online, are the heroes of the Global Money Week Secretariat, making sure that everything works smoothly before, during, and after the campaign. So thanks to both of you. So now we would like to put some of the suggestions that Eva mentioned during her presentation in practice. And this is why we have decided to invite some of the organizations that have participated in Global Money Week in 2025 to show us some concrete examples of how they have used social media to effectively engage their audience during the campaign. So we will hear from the Global Money Week coordinators from Greece and Colombia. So these are the Bank of Greece and Banca de las Oportunidades. And following their presentation, there will also be some Q&A. So feel free to already, if you have questions during this presentation, use the Q&A function, which is at the bottom of your screen. You have Q&A with a question mark. And we will make sure that after the presentation, we will get to your Q&A. So for now, I would like to invite Maria Moshona to give her presentation. Maria is the head of division of the Public Relations and Outreach Division of the Communications Unit at the Bank of Greece. And the Bank of Greece had a fantastic campaign in 2025 during Global Money Week. And we all saw the video during the campaign and really loved it. And we wanted you to also have the chance to look at what the colleagues of the Bank of Greece have done and learn from their experience. So Maria, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am very glad to be here and have the opportunity to share with you the campaign we created for last year's Global Money Week. Let me share my presentation. Okay, so thank you for inviting me again. I want to share with you our last year's awareness campaign on social media the Bank of Greece created. Let me first say what was our objective. The first step was to define a topic related to last year's theme, that was Think Before You Follow, Wise Money Tomorrow. We wanted, of course, to raise awareness among young people, and at the same time select a topic that was relevant and meaningful to them, something that played a role to their everyday digital lives. Our decision on the topic was strongly supported by research findings here in Greece. According to 2024 OECD's data on adult and youth financial literacy in Greece, we saw following. That only about half of the Greek students are aware of the risks associated with cryptocurrencies. Many do not fully understand what cryptocurrencies hide as a risk, and that they do not offer any guarantee for the amount invested, and that they may lose all the entire amount that have invested on them. Parents are perceived as the primary source of information on money-related issues for the 90% of the Greek students. However, 40% of the students have never discussed with their families related issues, financially related issues, such as investments, loans, insurance. 63% of the students have never discussed with their parents issues about cryptocurrencies. And the funny thing here is that already 10% of the students of the Greek students have already purchased cryptocurrencies. So we saw that young people are already exposed to cryptocurrencies. However, they don't have the sufficient knowledge about them. So there is a high risk of misunderstanding how cryptocurrencies work, and a high risk of misinformation and of making not sound financial decisions. So we had our topic. We would deal with cryptocurrencies, and we decided to shape our campaign around a simple and clear message that was cryptocurrencies, the best investment is knowledge. Let me say here about our campaign roles. We wanted to raise awareness among young people and mostly about their families, because, as I said, families are perceived the main source of information for young audiences. We wanted to encourage young people to think critically before deciding to invest on cryptocurrencies. And finally, we wanted to help them recognize and avoid misinformation, especially from unreliable and informal sources. Of course, this was not an easy task for us. We had many challenges. Let me outline some of them. It is challenging for a central bank to reach young audiences. We communicate with the general public. We communicate with institutional stakeholders. However, communicating with young people requires a different tone, different tools, different platforms. And that was challenging for us. Cryptocurrencies, the topic of cryptocurrencies is very complex to explain and very technical. So this was another challenge for us, particularly since our target group would be young people. It was challenging for us to address the issue of misinformation, particularly because young people are very fun and very familiar with the so-called influencers and finfluencers. Influencers are extremely popular to young generations, so this was quite challenging for us too. And finally, a main challenge for us was to maximize the organic reach of our campaign without having the need to go to a paid advertising. So what we decided to do? We decided to cooperate with influential figures here in Greece that have strong and positive connections with young people and families. We wanted to cooperate with them both in the creation of our content, to give them enough freedom, creative freedom, so as the content we would create for young people would be natural and genuine, while ensuring, of course, that it would be accurate, credible and trustful. Furthermore, we wanted to exploit, let's say, their strong digital presence in order to leverage our social media reach. Of course, this had potential risks regarding the selection of the influencers. We had to be very careful with whom we were going to cooperate with as a central bank. And careful planning was essential for us, both, as I said, regarding the selection of the influencer, but also at the content creation, mainly because the messenger, as you understand, is a central bank. Let me now tell you how we decided to cooperate with the two influencers we chose. The first one was 5 Minute Mom, Mrs. Elena Haralaboudi, a well-known, famous actress and influencer here in Greece. She has a strong relationship with families and young adults, the targets that we wanted to reach. She has a strong social media presence. For example, on Instagram, she has more than 400,000 followers. She has a strong engagement rate with her audience, almost 10%. That is quite exceptional for influencer marketing standards. But it's not only the size of her audience, it's also the level of trust and credibility she has built. And let me say here that her audience reacts very positive to her content. On the other side, we decided to cooperate with Mr. Petru. It's a stand-up young comedian here in Greece. Also, he has a strong appeal to young adults and millennials. He has humor-based content. He also has a strong social media presence, particularly on TikTok, and many times his videos become viral. Let me here say that the Bank of Greece does not have Instagram or TikTok accounts, which are very popular among young people. So using the influencers platforms was an advantage for us in order to reach young audiences better. So we created a 3-minute video where a young couple, through humorous content and in a funny way, communicates the importance of carefully evaluating both the information itself and the credibility of the information before making a financial decision on cryptocurrencies. The video ends with our slogan, "The best investment is knowledge," and is supported by an easy-to-read informational leaflet where our target group has the opportunity to access a clear and reliable information that is presented in a format that can easily be discussed with family members. We promoted our campaign across Bank of Greece's social media channels. We have an account on LinkedIn, on X, on Facebook of our museum, and on YouTube. In parallel, as I said, we used the influencers' social media channels, where the Bank of Greece was mentioned only in the post descriptions. This helped the content to feel more organic and authentic and less institutional. This was crucial for us for the engagement with young users. Of course, we supported the distribution of our campaign by additional communication actions. This included the Bank of Greece press release, and of course, we exploited our internal communication channels, our newsletter, our intranet, our staff magazine, and in that way, we wanted our colleagues to become ambassadors of our content and our message outside the institution. Now I will do a short break, and I will let you see our video. It's in our language, it's in Greek language, but it has English subtitle, and I will then come back to share with you our key insight, our key lessons learned from our campaign, and I will tell you about the results of our campaign. So I will show you the video now. Ακούγεται?
Sorry, I think we cannot hear the video, so perhaps I can ask Jenna to step in and share the video with the sound, please. Maria, I'm sorry, we cannot hear the video.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we cannot hear the video, so perhaps we can ask Jenna, could you step in and add the video with the sound?
You can't hear it.
We cannot.
So you can only read the subtitles.
No, it's okay. We will share it. So please wait for a second.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Could you stop sharing, Maria?
No, it's okay.
Yes.
You're good.
Ευρώ.
Εγώ.
Δεν έχεις 500. Ρώτα τον Babe.
Babe, έχεις 500 ευρώ.
Πού να το βρω, παιδί μου, 500 ευρώ.
Έχει.
Ψάξε.
Δεν έχω.
Δώσ' τα μου.
Μα δεν έχω.
Θέλεις να κάνεις τη ζωή σου καλύτερη αύριο?
Θέλω.
Μπορείς να επενδύσεις στα δικά μου κρύπτο. Είμαι η Macrypto is better than yours and yours and yours and yours. Και θα σου πω τώρα ότι το δικό μου κρύπτο είναι το καλύτερο. Τα εξόριξα ένα-ένα χθες. Τα ζουμπούλιου μου είναι τα καλύτερα στην αγορά. Αγόρασε το e-course μου και θα μάθεις περισσότερα. Είναι μόνο 250 ευρώ το μήνα. Πληρώνω μόνο με ευρώ.
Πάρε τη μάνα σου να μας δώσει 500 ευρώ. Θέλω να επενδύσουμε.
Σε μετοχές.
Σε κρύπτο. Θέλω να επενδύσω σε κρύπτο. Είναι εδώ μια κυρία. Λέγεται My crypto is better than yours and yours and yours and yours. Δεν την ξέρεις. Είμαι obsessed with her.
Και τι είναι αυτή, οικονομολόγος, η Τράπεζα Ελλάδος?
Όχι, ρε εσύ. Αυτή είναι η influencer futures. My crypto is better than yours and yours and yours.
Κάτσε βρε αγάπη μου, αυτή δεν είναι η γεωπόνος που φύτευε κάτι πατζάρια πέρσι και ήταν My garden is better than yours and yours and yours?
Όχι, αυτή ήταν η My kitchen is better than yours and yours and yours. And yours. Καλά, εντάξει, να σου πω, μου μειώνεις τα aura points. Το boyfriend της Bestie θέλει να της πάρει διθάσιο αμάξι.
Με κρυπτο. Κάτσε να δούμε αν θα τα έχει αύριο.
Εντάξει, είσαι πάρα πολύ αρνητικός στο πόρτιμα. Έλα, μα, αποφάσισα ότι θέλω να γίνω ανεξάρτητη από Δευτέρα και θέλω να επενδύσω. Όχι από αυτή τη Δευτέρα. Αυτή τη Δευτέρα θέλω να πάω στο αυτοκίνητο για κταία. Από την άλλη Δευτέρα θέλω να μου δώσει 500 ευρώ και εγώ θα στα κάνω 1000. Θέλω να επενδύσω σε κρύπτο. Είναι high risk. Τι είναι high risk? Η φίλη σου φοβό έβαλε 1000 και μετά της έμειναν 100. Καλά, κλείσε.
Ωραία, αγάπη μου, στο λέω μαζί σου είμαι. Απλά είναι σαν να επενδύσει σε μια ομάδα που αλλάζει κάθε μέρα παίχτες.
Κατάλαβα, θα πάρω την Bestie.
Όχι, όχι, μην πάρεις την Bestie. Έλα να πάρουμε τον μπρο μου που ξέρει από αυτά.
Slay.
Πού είσαι, μπρόσκι μου?
Hey, yo, bro!
Μπρονίνιο.
Μπρομπατσόφ!
Σκουρπά, τικοτικάου. Ρε φίλε, πες εδώ πέρα, γιατί που παρακολουθεί αυτήν την My crypto is better than yours and yours and yours και θέλει να επενδύσει.
Μακριά από αυτήν, φίλε. Μακριά τα έχασα όλα τα λεφτά τα έχασα. Αυτή πήγε τώρα να μου πουλήσει κάτι FOMO token. Και που λες, bro, για να ρεφάρω τη χασούρα, ζήτησα κι άλλα τη μάνα μου, hustling, you know, για να πάρω pump and dump coin. Τα έχασα κι αυτά. Έκρυβε η crypto, bro. Το νου. Leave crypto out.
Τώρα ξενέρωσα full. Και πώς θα πάμε στις Μαλδίβες?
Δεν θα πάμε.
Να σου πω, θέλεις να κάνουμε ένα YouTube κανάλι που θα λέγεται My boyfriend is better than yours and yours and yours?
Αυτή είναι καλή ιδέα. Γιατί είμαι και boyfriend better than yours and yours and yours, έτσι.
Okay. Let me move. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
We can see you for now.
Okay. Let me share again, I think.
Cool. That was a great video. Super funny.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah, you can go back into full screen. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. So, the key outcomes. We reached young adults and families, and that, as I said, were traditionally difficult for a central bank to approach. We opened a genuine dialogue with young audiences, and we managed to communicate our message by using humor and accessible language while maintaining our credibility as a central bank. Finally, we maximized organic reach and avoided paid advertising. And I may say here that me and my colleagues at the communications unit built experience and gained valuable know-how for our future campaigns. And I will share with you the campaign results. We managed to reach over 1.2 million views, and that we are very happy about that. It was quite exceptional for us, and confirmed the effectiveness of our approach and our content strategy. That was it from me. I hope my presentation will give you some food for thought for your future campaigns on social media. And I want once more to thank you for inviting me here, and that you gave me the opportunity to share with you our campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria. This was really a wonderful presentation and great introduction to your campaign. And I think the video made everybody smile. We're also very impressed by the reach of your campaign and the views. And of course,
Yes.
if we have time, we can also discuss a little bit how you're planning to build on this achievements. But for now, I would like to move to our next presentation. And this time we're going all the way on the other side of the world to Colombia. And I would like to invite Paula Arias, which is director of the bank at the Banca de las Oportunidades, to share their experience in using social media during Global Money Week. So Paula, you have the floor.
Hello to everyone. Good morning here, good afternoon, good evening too. Thank you, Bianca and the OECD team for the invitation. I'm super glad to be participating in this space and sharing this panel with Maria and this impressive experience that they have in Greece on social media. Let me briefly introduce ourselves. Banca de las Oportunidades. We are a national program in Colombia that was created 20 years ago in order to promote both financial inclusion and financial literacy in our country to enhance financial well-being of the population that is underserved in terms of access and usage of financial products. Mainly, we have like two big target population. The first one is focused on people, on low-income households, and the second one is focused on enterprises, particularly the ones that have less capacities, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. So this is our focus. And in order to fulfill our mandate, we are working in different strategic pillars. And let me tell you that we are not a central bank, we are not a financial superintendent, we're not the Ministry of Finance. We are an entity that is specialized in these two topics, financial inclusion and financial literacy. We work 24/7 in our country in both areas. And in terms of financial inclusion, we have been very focused on four pillars: access, usage, expanded usage, and resilience. I'm not going to focus on that because this is more related to financial inclusion, but I want to let you know what we are doing in terms of financial literacy. And we are working in four big areas right now. The first one is that we are updating our national strategy for financial literacy. The last one, or the first one that we have in our country, is from 10 years ago, 2017. So we are currently working on updating our national strategy as our roadmap in terms to have clear mandates in terms of how to address the needs of financial literacy in our country. The second pillar that we are working in terms of financial literacy is that we are applying our financial capabilities survey 2026 this year. And what we are doing is applying the new OECD toolkit in order to have a better understanding of the stage of our population in terms of financial capabilities. Also, we are working in a big program with the Ministry of Education in order to promote financial literacy from schools. And this is very important. It's very connected with the Global Money Week celebration because we are very committed, and we believe that if we start early, the results are going to be much better in terms of behaviors and skills that we develop in our population. And last but not least, the most important, the one that we are going to talk, we participate very actively in the Global Money Week celebration. We have been participating for many years. And 4 years ago, we decided that Banca de las Oportunidades was going to be the leader of this celebration, of this national celebration in Colombia, in coordination with different public institutions that are part of our governance, our intersectoral commission, that is kind of our board of directors, where different entities of the government that were with financial literacy participate as the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Finance, the financial superintendents and central bank, and so on. So we work with all of them, with all these public institutions, but we are the one that every year are in charge of coordinating this national celebration. With that, in 2025, the last year, we have the committed and the participation of numerous public and private organizations that carry out both virtual and in-person activities across the country. We reach around 200,000 children and young people directly with our in-person activities. We also reach out around 44,000 adults and around 766 organizations participated in our celebration. When I'm referring to in-person activities, what we have been doing is trying to mobilize different stakeholders and partners in order to do collective celebrations, collective activities, collective experience in different territories or different parts of the country. We have been working for more than 4 years in some fairs where we go to schools with different activities, games, workshops, contents, talks, and we invite different schools, different kids to be part of this celebration in different quarters and in different parts of the country. And we have the participation of different stakeholders and partners that help us to do these activities. Now I want to focus on the digital campaign and what we have been doing in terms of social media in our country. And what we have been, or what we want to do, is to try to create a unified voice and trying to build this, as Eva mentioned before, this toolkit ready to use, where we provide different materials, contents, key visuals, hashtag, and so on, in order to provide them like the basics on the communication and to have more impact in terms of the message that we provide to our audience. So when we are talking about our digital campaign, I think we have like two different strategies. The first one, we call it like communication strategy. I don't know if the name is correct, but here what we want to do or our goal is to inform people and our stakeholders about what we are doing during the celebration, including our activities, our experience. And here our main stakeholders or audience are media, the media are the public entities, the financial institutions that are participating, and international organization, and so on. So here, our focus is our main stakeholders, and we want to communicate what we are doing. So for that reason, we have like different phases in this strategy. The first one is like the teaser, then the launch moment, then we have like a sustainability and engagement moment, and last but not least, post-launch and evaluation. So here, as I said, we want to communicate what we are doing in the real world and in the digital world during this national celebration. And then we have another strategy from an educational perspective. And here we aim to engage children, family, parents, professors, and communities in conversation about financial literacy and the key message of Global Money Week, helping to build knowledge, skills, and positive financial behavior. In terms of education, we leverage our educational web portal, which hosts a wide range of learning materials, including videos, podcast series, and other educational content. And this is very important because what we are doing here is that with our national strategy, the one that is from 2017, we have national web portal. It's called Pesos Pensados. And here we work with the different entities of the Intersectoral Commission, the public entities that work in terms of financial literacy, in order to provide like material content, in order to raise awareness on financial literacy. And what we are doing during the Global Money Week is leveraging on this initiative in order to have more materials and also to have more reach. Additionally, we have two approaches to work with partners on social media. We identified two ways to collaborate with partners to create collective messages and strategies, because what we want to do is that it's not only Banca de las Oportunidades, the one using the social media. We want all our partners, all our allies, the ones from the Intersectoral Commission, financial institutions, Financial Institution Association, and other key actors to participate in the initiative that we are conducting in social media. And here what we found is that we have two ways or two approaches to do that. The first one is co-creating collective initiatives, which means jointly develop campaigns and actions. And to be honest, what we have seen is that these initiatives are much more effective, generating a stronger engagement and ownership. So what I mean is, for example, last year we worked with the Banking Association and with the Microfinance Institution Association in order to create a digital campaign in terms of savings. And what we saw is that when they think that this is something that they work and created together with us, they are more committed, and the impact for sure is higher in terms of research and an impact on our audience. Additionally, we also have disseminating messages for replication, providing content for partners to share, help expand research, but was less impactful than co-created initiative. Here, what we saw is that dissemination messages for replication are very used by small entities, but we don't reach the same committed that we have. Additionally, what we see is that our strategies change the audience that we are reaching, as I mentioned before. So what we have seen is the importance of using different social media, as Arax mentioned also before. What we are seeing is, for example, in terms of the communication strategy, the importance of using social medias like LinkedIn or X, because our main stakeholders are there. So it's very important to be present there with longer messages, with more details about what we are doing, and about our experience in terms of this national celebration. But additionally, in terms of education and awareness, what we are seeing is that there are other social medias that are more effective. For example, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram are very useful to reach younger population, and it's very important to be in all of them because the audience is very different depending on each social media. For example, Facebook, what we have seen is that these young people that are more rural are more in Facebook than in Instagram. So if we want to reach rural young people, we need to use Facebook. If we want to reach urban young people, Instagram is more effective. If we want to go to younger population, TikTok is more effective because the participation of them in this social media is higher. So what we decided is the importance to be in all of them, but this also have a bigger challenge, that is the need of have different tones, different messages, different initiative, different activities, because we need to talk in the way that they are used in this social media. And as you also said before, it depends on each one what they are expecting and what they are doing. Let me change the confirm. I don't know, I got something. So with that, let me finally talk about our key learnings. We divided these learnings in terms of the power of communication and the power of the messages. In terms of the power of communications, what we have seen is the importance of first, standardization enables broad participation. And here what the OECD is doing with this ready-to-use toolkit is very useful to lower entry barriers, particularly, and as I said before, for smaller partners, for example, credit unions and microfinance institutions that want to participate but don't have their resources to do their own campaign. So we have seen that this is very useful for them, and they are the ones that are more committed to use these standardized materials. Second, what we have seen is the importance of partners' visibility. When we allow them to use these materials, but to put their logo, their colors, their institutional colors, that give them more, that make them more engaged, and motivate more their participation, and attracts also new allies. Third, a unified narrative reinforces positioning. And here it's very important to use the hashtags. Eva said that before, but what we have seen is that our allies tend to use their own hashtags or no hashtag at all. So it's very important to work with them in this thing, to use consistent hashtag and be aligned with the global team, because this is for sure, this increased visibility. Four, the importance of phase planning ensure national coherence. What we are seeing is that clear communication phases enable coordinated message nationwide. And last but not least, and I think this part is very important, is the testimonials are key to emotional connections. So here what we have been doing, particularly in terms of our communication strategy, is to use real stories of what we are doing in our in-person activities. Quote what the kids, the young people that are participating in our fairs, for example, are doing, are feeling, is very important. Because when you humanize the campaign, people connect with what they are saying, and people believe that this is relevant for them. So this is very important, and additionally, it's very important also to use influencers. We have tried some of them in Colombia, as my colleague in Greece have also done. And what we have seen is that it's very successful in terms of reach, of the engagement rate, and also if you want to reach a bigger audience, influencers are crucial. However, it's not easy to choose them, because there are, as Maria also said, there are some risks, particularly how you balance this engagement rate with trust, and also with how they are accurate in their message, because you cannot control what they are doing, and not only in your campaign, but in what they do every single day in their social media. So for that reason, what we have been doing is trying to be focused on influencers, that we know for sure that are always talking about financial education, that are technical, their contexts are technical, and that have raised trust in their audience. In terms of the power of the message, what we have seen is, I said that before, but the first message is the importance of co-creating with partners increases relevance and impact. Second, the importance of clear and simple messages perform better. What we have been doing is what we have seen is when we do something that, for example, videos that are too long, or use a very complex language, but people don't connect with them. Third, messages connected to real life experience resonate more, and how you make as behavioral economics said, how you connect with your lifetime moments. And this is more like a challenge than a lesson, is how we go from information to interaction. And we think that here with our strategy, we have been very strong in providing information. However, our challenge is to go from information to interaction, and how we work more in raising awareness into meaningful interactions for building financial capacities and capabilities. And here, and what we want to do in 2026 is put all our efforts on interactive format and gamification. This is what we want to do this year. Format like trivia, pools, quizzes, content, and so on, applying behavioral economic principles to digital strategies in order to have more engagement and also to provide more insightful resources to change behaviors.
Paula, I think we are running over.
I'm finished. I finished.
Okay.
That was the last idea.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, I finished. It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Very great experience also from Colombia. I wanted to just take a couple of minutes because we have a couple of questions in the chat, and I wanted to take the opportunity to actually answer those very quickly if you can. There's one very quick question for Bank of Greece, and it also links to what you were saying, Paula, about choosing the influencers, because you cannot control what they will say. They say during their entire presence on social media. So perhaps both of you can come very quickly in like 30 seconds on that question. And then you can also perhaps answer the other question, which is from Annalisa Malapit. I'm not sure from which organization she is, but she's asking about how can local governments and cooperatives be more engaged in financial literacy. And I think if you have some very brief experience to share with engaging with local governments there, both of you, that would be nice. And if you would like to come in also on that one, you're welcome. Please try to be very brief because we are running a little bit late. So both of you can come on that. So I'm not sure if Paula or Maria want to start.
Okay. If I may, regarding the risks about the choice of the influencers. Yes, you are right. We said that this was a challenge and risk for us, the right choice of them. We did a thorough research on their profile and their content, their past content. We wanted to be sure regarding our campaign on cryptocurrencies that they had not cooperated with cryptos, betting companies. They didn't have offensive. They didn't use in their content that the institutional language, offensive language, because we want to be sure that we wouldn't harm the trustfulness of the Bank of Greece. Before cooperating with them, we signed a contract with the influencers. We talked to our legal department in order to be sure we will have the framework, the right framework, in order for the credibility of the Bank of Greece not to be hurt, and in order not to have possible negative publicity.
I just will briefly add the importance of choose always credibility over popularity. Second, the need to find alignment with our values and purpose. Third, the audience relevance. And last but not least, clear and simple communication style.
cooperation with local government units and cooperatives, if you have that experience in your countries?
I don't know. I'm sure that I understood it, but here in Greece, we run the national strategy, financial literacy strategy, along with OECD and our Ministry of Economics. So this is perhaps a tool of get involved all these institutions.
Great. Yes. So I think the question was working with local governments. If you had any,
we have done it in all the activities that we are doing, like in the real life world, and they are very important because without their support, you cannot reach schools, kids, professors. So they are crucial if you want to do like a very big initiative and have engagement and participation. And also cooperative and these small financial institutions are very important for example, in Colombia, in rural contents. And if you want to reach like low income population, they have a huge trust and engagement with this population. So they do beautiful things in territories.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your presentations. Thank you for your answers and for your sharing and answering the questions. I think we are reaching the end of the webinar. Unfortunately, I know everybody would still like to continue this discussion, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the speakers, of course, starting with our co-chair of the Global Money Week Working Group, Arax from Central Bank of Armenia, Maria from Central Bank of Greece, and Paula from Banca de las Oportunidades. Of course, also our colleague Eva, who has been given the presentation about the social media kit. Remember that all the resources of the Global Money Week Secretariat are available on our website, so you can go and check them out. We are continuously posting on social media too with all the resources, so keep following us before the campaign and also during the campaign. We will be very active, of course. You will find also the recording of this meeting and the slides of the presenters on the Global Money Week website in the next couple of days this week. And you will be able to go back and check again the presentations and the content that was shared today or shared with others which are interested. In the meantime, we want to thank you all once again for being here today. We wish you all good luck with the preparations for the Global Money Week campaign in 2026, which is soon, which is around the corner. We are going to launch the Global Money Week campaign on the 16th of March, so stay tuned for all the details about that. And if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to the Secretariat. As a reminder, the Global Money Week theme this year is Smart Money Talks, and we also have translations of the theme in the different languages. And you can, of course, have a look at the Global Money Week brochures and Global Money Week toolkits, which Eva mentioned on her slides as well, for all the translations in different languages which are available. So thank you once again very much. And we look forward to seeing you soon online and in the Global Money Week events in March. Thanks, everyone, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.